Yu Menglong's Douyin comment section, which had been frozen shut for 3 long months, was suddenly reopened recently. The top comment alone is enough to move anyone to tears the moment they read it. But as the comments reopened, a far more chilling rumor began spreading like wildfire across the internet. The person who jumped from the building that day might not have been the real Yu Menglong, but a body double. Meanwhile, 7-year-old actor Lee Hong-yi is currently drowning under the weight of an astronomical contract termination fee. During a recent live stream, he appeared completely out of it, hauntingly repeating the same phrase over and over: immortal, never dying. From a cross-border petition garnering 730,000 signatures to the brutal reality of slave contracts in the Chinese entertainment industry, these two stories may seem worlds apart. In reality, however, they both lead back to the same black hole, a system that swallows people alive. Hey guys, Sean here, and welcome back. Honestly, what is Big Capital actually trying to hide? Today, we're gonna piece this puzzle together bit by bit to see who's really pulling the strings behind the scenes and who exactly thinks they can cover the sun with one hand in the glitzy world of entertainment. But look, I've gotta ask, are you guys getting tired of the Yumang Long case? Because the deeper we dig, the weirder and darker it gets. We're finding things that were probably never meant to see the light of day, and yet, there they are. So, before we go any further, take a deep breath, because you never know how deep this hole goes. Let's start with the latest developments. Just a few days ago, a netizen stumbled upon something unexpected. Yu Menglong's Douyin account, where the comment section had been completely nuked and locked down for over 3 months, was suddenly open for business again. Now, you have to understand, ever since the incident, Yu Menglong's name basically became he who must not be named on the Chinese internet. Whether it was on Weibo, Xiaohongshu, or Douyin, it didn't matter which major platform you were on, his name was treated like a forbidden word. Every search result that popped up had been strictly sanitized, and the comment sections were kept under total lockdown. Not a single voice of doubt was allowed to slip through. But now, finally, a crack has appeared in that wall. I actually went and checked it out for myself, and I realized right away why the comment section just completely breaks you. There's no hate. No petty drama, no trolls, just there for the spectacle. It feels like everyone is actually talking to him. For instance, one netizen wrote, Thank God we can finally leave a comment again. Are you okay? We all miss you so much." Another one said, "Finally I can comment again. Meng, we're still here. You have no idea. I think about you every single day." What really gets me, what really breaks my heart, are the comments about New Year's Eve. I mean, we're almost into 2026 now, right? And the fans are just pouring their hearts out in the comments, saying things like, "New Year's is almost here. How could we ever have the heart to leave you behind in 2025? Please, just come home. Let's ring in the new year together, okay? Just tell me where you are, I'll come get you, and we can go into 2026 together." Reading through these comments, you can really feel it deep down. His fans know he's gone. But in this newly opened tree hole, everyone is playing along, pretending he's still here. Someone even asked, "Siga, I miss you so much. Is there any chance you'll just suddenly reappear one day?" But there's a massive contradiction here. Look closely. Even though the comment section is open, if you actually type Yu Menglong into the Douyin search bar, his account still won't show up. What does that tell you? It means the Big Capital, or the platform itself, is still shadow banning him. They're basically letting you cry in a dark corner for a moment, but they aren't about to let his name hit the trending topics again. They are making sure this stays a private wake, not a public conversation. It's a form of control that is incredibly precise. And now that we've gotten this far, I have to ask you guys, Do you think this half unblocking is a genuine change of heart from the platform, a moment of conscience, or is there actually some outside pressure forcing their hand? Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your take on this. If the reopening of the comments was heartbreaking, then what I'm about to tell you next is pure horror. Recently, a rumor has been spreading like wildfire across the internet, backed by some leaked videos and photos. The claim is that on September 11th, someone else fell from that building on the exact same day as Yumang Long, his stunt double. Now, we all know that in the industry, stuntmen are there to help with blocking or to handle the dangerous stuff. But according to these leaks, the existence of this body double has turned into something much more sinister. A sacrificial lamb or a pawn used to cover up the truth. Some netizens have been digging into this, and they're convinced that during his final days, Yu Menglong was subjected to long-term surveillance and systemic abuse. The theory is that his arms and legs might have been covered in old scars and injuries for a long time. If he were the one who fell from that building, those old wounds on his body would have been impossible to hide. Not from the forensic experts, and certainly not from the public eye. And that's exactly why a theory started circulating, one so bold, it's almost hard to wrap your head around. According to the whistleblower, the claim is that he wasn't actually killed on the day of the incident. Instead, he was allegedly moved from one location to another multiple times before being brutally murdered. Meanwhile, the person who fell from the building at the Yangwang Shandong complex that day, the one used to throw the public off the scent, is suspected to have been his stunt double. Some netizens who've analyzed the crime scene photos have pointed out some very specific red flags. They noted the arm lying on the ground didn't have many scars or bloodstains. If he had been brutally tortured before he died, it shouldn't have looked like that. Others pointed out a specific detail. Yu Menglong has a mole on his left arm, but on the body at the scene, that exact spot seemed to be intentionally covered. Even his fingers were clenched into a fist, as if they were trying to make sure no one could actually identify him. What's even more chilling is a theory suggesting that the stunt double met an even more tragic end than Yu Menglong. The claim is that he died in a state of sheer terror, completely against his will. They say the double's body, which was boldly sent out as a decoy, was intentionally dumped in a spot that was pitch black. Of course, at this stage, everything is just internet speculation and hasn't been officially confirmed. But why are people so quick to believe it? It's because TNU's reputation is absolutely bottom tier in the eyes of the public. People immediately started tearing them apart, saying things like, "What kind of twisted, rotten company is TNU anyway?" It's like, as long as someone is connected to Yu Menglong, there's always a body double involved. If this stunt double theory turns out to be true, then we're no longer just looking at a dark industry scandal. We're looking at a chilling, high-level criminal case. Why are netizens so convinced that Yu Menglong was tortured before he died? This isn't just some baseless rumor, we actually have video footage to back it up. You can actually look up an official Chinese media program titled Home Among Mountains and Rivers, Season 4. This was Yu Menglong's last recording before he passed away. It was filmed in Anhui on July 10th and 11th of this year. In the official trailer they released, Yu Menglong's appearance is enough to break anyone's heart. Even though he's smiling for the camera because as an entertainer, he has to keep up appearances, his body simply couldn't hide the truth anymore. On screen, his cheeks are completely hollowed out, losing that warm, gentle look he used to have. He was so gaunt, he was almost unrecognizable. When he reached out his hands, they were nothing but skin and bones. Sharp-eyed netizens even zoomed in on the footage and spotted what looks like scarring near the corners of his eyes. On his neck and face, you can faintly see traces of extreme mistreatment. Even the bone structure in his neck is jarringly visible, as if there was no muscle or tissue left to protect it. That kind of weight loss clearly wasn't healthy thin, it was unnatural, almost like a silent scream from someone who had been pushed to the absolute brink. The moment that trailer dropped, fans knew immediately that something was terribly wrong. Some people said that even though he was clearly going through hell at the time, he still kept that gentle smile on his face. He was honestly so brave. Seeing him like that, it's just gut-wrenching. But others were absolutely fuming, saying they supposedly aired the show, but they edited Yu Menglong out completely. That's even more heartless. They've already destroyed him. Look what they did to him. Pure evil. Looking back at it now, it's clear that as early as July, maybe even earlier, he was already in serious danger. There have been several leaks suggesting that people within the industry actually knew Yu Menglong was being watched and targeted. There are even claims that a warning had been put out ahead of time that back in July, there was already a hit out on him. That smile he forced for the cameras back then. When you look at it now, doesn't it feel less like a smile and more like a desperate plea for help? Even though this story is being aggressively suppressed and silenced inside China, on the international stage, this is far from over. As of today, over 730,000 people worldwide have joined a global petition demanding a full reinvestigation into Yu Menglong's case. People are finding every way possible to keep his memory alive. From handmade crafts and paintings to tribute videos, some even leave heartfelt notes on their food delivery orders. All of it is done just to make sure his name doesn't simply fade away. On top of that, TC Candler, the world-renowned independent critic site based in the US, has just dropped its official list of the 100 most handsome faces of 2025. Any guesses where Yu Menglong ranked? He actually cleared the top 5, coming in at number 5. What's even more impressive is that this was his very first time even being nominated. The official intro video they put together for him is truly heartbreaking. It shows this vibrant young man with a brilliant smile, but then he slowly turns away, his smile fading, until all that's left is a shot of his back, standing alone in a vast field of purple flowers. Then, 3 words flash across the screen: truth, justice, answers. This proves the international community knows this is far from over. While TC Candler isn't a government award, they've been around for over 30 years and command massive global influence, racking up billions of views annually. This year, the rankings were decided through a paid Patreon system. Fans and ordinary people driven by a sense of injustice literally put their own money on the line to vote. By pushing Yu Menglong to the number 5 spot, they weren't just voting for a handsome face. They were buying exposure for his case, ensuring the world couldn't look away until justice is served. Many netizens noted that this ranking was anything but easy to achieve, thanking everyone for their tireless efforts. Though the road ahead is long, they urged the Lemons Yu Menglong's dedicated fan base to keep pushing forward. Their motto: "We won't back down until the dawn breaks." Others are already looking ahead, with fans saying, "Let's aim for number 1 next year, and next year we go even harder." One fan even commented, "I've already signed up for 2 accounts next year, he's taking the top spot." As everyone is honoring his memory and scouring the globe for the truth, every single move the suspects make is naturally coming under intense scrutiny. Following the incident involving Yu Menglong, a prominent mainland Chinese director, Chen Qingsong, has been called out by netizens for his alleged presence at that pivotal dinner party. Recently, someone reportedly spotted him in Wanhua, Taipei. A netizen recently posted on Threads claiming they spotted someone at a roast duck shop in Wanhua, Taipei. The description was incredibly specific. A headband, fading orange-red hair, that pudding hair look, black-rimmed glasses, and standing about 5'7" to 5'9". He was apparently just grabbing drinks and chatting with a friend. These details match Chen Qingsong's profile to a T. Even though there's no hard evidence or photos yet, the news has set the internet in Taiwan ablaze. Many are asking, if he's got nothing to hide, why show up in Taipei right now? Of course, we can't label someone guilty based on a single text post, but the timing is undeniably suspicious. At this point, you might be wondering, why can't they just run? Why is it that even as A-list stars, they're living like prisoners? We can find the answers in the story of another actor, Li Hongyi. What he went through feels like a direct prequel to the Yu Menglong incident, or even a haunting parallel universe. Hong Yi is only 27 years old. Recently, the court issued a restriction on consumption order against him. In short, he's been blacklisted as a Lao Lai, a dishonest debtor, which means he's now barred from flying or even taking the high-speed rail. Why? Because he owes his former agency, Mango Entertainment, over $1.4 million. How did he end up with that kind of debt? It's all from contract termination penalties. It started when he was just a minor. At 16, his legal guardian signed him into a long-term, 8-year contract. Later on, he felt the company wasn't giving him any real opportunities. They weren't even paying his salary, so he tried to get out of the deal. Instead of letting him go, the company turned around and sued him for an astronomical amount in damages. You can see the pattern here. They take advantage of you when you're young and naive by locking you into these long-term contracts. Then they blacklist you, denying you resources and work, all while paying you peanuts. For example, if a film pays $28,000, he might only see $2,800 of it. This basically forces you to find your own way to survive. But the moment you take an outside job, they sue you for illegal work and demand millions in compensation. If you can't pay up, they go after your assets and drag your reputation through the mud, leaving you with absolutely nowhere to go. Yu Menglong went through the exact same thing before he passed away. Back in 2020, while he was on the show Chase the Light, idol Zhuangba Gege, he mentioned that his manager had signed a contract behind his back without him knowing a thing about it. He was smiling when he said it at the time, but looking back now, you can see the sheer desperation and fear in his eyes. He once said, "I'm terrified of being controlled, like when I'm forced to do whatever they want, and I have no choice but to go along with it." This is exactly how some of the big players in the Chinese entertainment industry operate. They aren't grooming artists, they're raising them like livestock, fattening them up just to slaughter them for meat. The moment you stop being obedient, they take you out. And with Yu Menglong, they probably took it to an even more extreme level, involving straight-up physical control and violence. When Li Hongyi read those words, his entire expression shifted. He went quiet, lost in thought, repeatedly muttering the same 4 words, "Never die. Never die." Watching it, so many viewers said it gave them chills. It didn't sound like he was thanking someone for a blessing. It sounded like he was trying to summon his own courage, or maybe sending a hidden SOS. Because in that environment, you can go from being on top of the world to dead or barely clinging to life in the blink of an eye. The reality behind the scenes is even more heartbreaking. Fans have pointed out that Li Hongyi's family is in a tragic state. His mother is battling leukemia, and his father just had kidney surgery. He's out there filming non-stop just to pay off debts, yet his agency continues to suffocate him. During a recent live stream, he tried to disable the gifting feature, but he couldn't. Ultimately, he just said he'd donate every cent he earned. Just look at that. Even in his own live stream, he has zero control over his own wallet. From Yu Menglong's tragic fall to the rumors about stunt doubles, from the brutal conditions on set to the global petition signed by 7.3 million people, and now Li Hongyi's prayer to stay alive while buried in debt. Every single one of these dots connects. They reveal a terrifying black hole hidden behind the glitz and glamour of the industry. Yu Menglong's fans have a saying that hits deep. "We won't leave until the dawn breaks." This isn't just for Yu Menglong anymore. It's for every young soul struggling inside that toxic dye vat of an industry. Even if the authorities try to close the book, even if his name is censored, as long as we keep talking, as long as lists like TC Candler keep printing words like truth, justice, and answers, the truth will never truly stay buried. Drop the word watch in the comments or help us share this video. The internet has a long memory. Every click, every share is a small act of defiance against those who want us to forget. And if you're still watching this, maybe you're looking for the same thing I am.